Hey, I can hear you. Hello,
Okay,
from where are you calling?
I'm in New York. Are you dialing in from Germany?
New York. Yeah, New York, New York. Great.
Well, the first thing I want to know is you're a tech pioneer, and by that I mean the synthesizers and what you're doing for music. I know first came out of necessity, like that was all you could afford. You were not really a proficient musician, yet it was this pioneering thing. Were you always interested in technology?
No, it was just I was just interested in doing music, and that was the only possibility for me to, I had to be interested in technology just to make myself able to compose, and not just me, just everybody else from us at that time. And yeah, it was just a pure necessity.
So
But
nowadays,
actually, I'm not. It's not that I'm disinterested in technology. I mean, but I consume information like a regular consumer normally. I'm very much interested in, I don't know, hydrogen technology, or in science fiction and all this shit. I really, yeah, it's good entertainment technology. I like it.
well, fast forward almost 40 years, and now you have to do all of your interviews over Zoom and video technology, and digital recording is the norm. So it's one of those cases where you go, Alphaville was right.
These are not terms in which I can see Alphaville, if you were right or wrong or whatever. It's just as an artist, you can't go wrong, isn't it? I mean,
Right,
you're always right.
right. Well, Eternally Yours is the new release. When did you actually record and finish it?
um, well, this production has a quite long history, because we planned to do it several years before, and there was always something coming in between. And the last big thing was then the pandemic starting, and so finally, by the beginning of this year, we had all the things. We got everything together that we needed, to produce this album. We had the orchestra, the Babelsberger Film Orchestra, which is a very, it was a dream for us, if we could involve them in our project, and it worked out. Yeah. And we got two really brilliant arrangers that knew everything about how to set pop songs, rock songs into a symphonic context. And yeah, and it was a really big, it was the biggest production of my life, because I mean, the orchestra, like 60 people, the two arrangers, the conductor, the librettist, the technicians around us and everything. Normally, when we produce an album, we 3, 4, 5 people maybe in the studio, and that's it. And we all the things we do ourselves. This time there was not very much we could do. I mean, we could just talk to the people, said, because the plan was, the idea was, it should not be an album where we perform in front of an orchestra and the orchestra is doing a little bit doodle, of violins or whatever.
Yeah.
The idea was that the orchestra, as a most fantastic device, should perform, apart from the singing, should perform the whole body of songs that we plan to produce there. And so, yeah, we were almost there, standing, talking to the people, saying, yeah, we would like to have it like this, or I think this melody, this flute melody, or this violin could probably play another thing, or by another instrument. And then we got the answer, yeah, but the range of the instruments is not high enough. Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. It was also a lot of experimenting for us, and we got lots of new insight, in especially in this kind of music. It was really a big adventure. But sometimes I must admit that I felt a little bit lost in this production. It was a little bit labyrinthic. And I was really happy when we finally ended up in a regular situation that was the mixing desk with, well, more than 300 or 400 tracks, which is
Yeah, a
fucking,
lot of
but
tracks.
yeah, because we had so many instruments. But at least, we were in an environment that we knew, and we knew how to handle it, and that was one of the best parts then, because then the whole music came together, and we could listen to it, as a whole thing, and it was just an overwhelming moment, to when we finally heard, when all the pieces came together.
Mm-hmm. Did you always love the Alphaville music? The reason I ask that is a lot of people have big international successes, and then they get tired of performing those songs. They've played them too many times. Musical trends change, things in their life change, and they go, I want to distance to myself from it. And then after a certain number of years, they go, you know what? I love it. I love the things that I did when I was 18, 20 years old. Did you always love Alphaville, or did you need some time away?
No, I have no problems loving Alphaville. It's a dream vehicle for me, and it transported me to the most wonderful places. It is the fulfillment of my personal dream, and also everybody else in the band.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so happy, that we have all these fantastic songs, and also some really, really successful big hits. With
Mm-hmm.
When you do a concert, for instance, it is like you play every song in this set list, play just once. It's not that you play Forever Young 10 times, one after the other.
Well,
or
if I can interrupt
when people
you,
ask me that, it seems to me that they think, that something like that happens.
If I can interrupt you, I'm sorry. The band OMD, who I know that you're a fan of.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine saw OMD, and here in the US, their biggest hit was If You Leave. And If You Leave, they played it 3 times at that concert.
Really? They did?
Yes.
Wow.
And when I saw A Flock of
They must really love it.
Yeah. A Flock of Seagulls, they played Iran twice when I saw them live. So sometimes bands do play the same hit more than once.
Well, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, then they have even less problems than me, with this kind of problem, and that's absolutely okay. I mean, and whatever OMD do, it's okay anyway by me, because they're a fucking great band, absolutely great band, absolutely great artists, brilliant songwriters, and a big encouragement for us in 1979 when they had the first single out, which was Electricity. And when we heard Electricity, I mean, we were just starting making our own music, and we had this inferior complex, because we had all these little toys, these little drum boxes, and sequencer, everything was very small, and the music was like beep bop beep bop boop bop beep bop. And then suddenly we heard a band from the UK, and they made exactly the same music as we did, and they had a record company, and they released a single, and it was such a great encouragement for us. We said, we're on the right track. I think, this could be great. It could become great what we're doing. So, I'm very, very grateful for OMD. Thank you, OMD.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the pleasure of interviewing Andy, and he told me something I didn't know, that ZZ Top started using synthesizers because they were inspired by OMD. Billy Gibbons at a concert. Alphaville, to me, a song like Forever Young is one of those songs that everybody knows. Generations know that. So in turn, it's a very influential, inspiring song. Here in the US, it became a hit again, 15, 20 years ago because of Napoleon Dynamite and Jay-Z sampling it. So what I want to know is Forever Young the #1 hit in every country, or are there other songs of yours that, like, this is the song of Germany, this is the song of Finland? Is it not Forever Young in every country?
Well, I guess it is. It's this because this song is an absolute phenomenon.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I mean, I don't understand the mystery of the secret behind this song. I mean, I can't explain it in a way, because I mean, it deals in really important in things that are really important in our lives, in our lifetime. It seems to talk about these things, because lots of these things are not really outspoken in the lyrics, but when you listen to the song, it feels like that is the reason that the song can be played on any occasions, maybe a wedding, maybe a funeral, maybe a birthday party, or whatever. To all of these occasions, the song seemed to answer with an elementary thing.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, I don't know how we managed to do this when we wrote the song. It's pure coincidence. A lot of lucky incidences, came together there, and it is. I mean, when you're writing songs, you don't have to have only talent or whatever. There's also a lot of luck involved in it. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't have it. I know a lot of really gifted and talented musicians, and they write the most wonderful music, in my humble opinion. And they don't. Nobody listens to them. It's really a tragedy. And sometimes there are songs where I think, well, this is as great as one of our big hits or so, but I don't know. Sometimes when I sing the song, I have a feeling I do a cover version myself on it. It's like this song comes from somebody else or so. It is like that. So it's a great song.
Absolutely. But when I was talking about OMD, If You Leave is their biggest hit in the US, and then everywhere else in the world, maybe that was the third or the fourth or the fifth biggest hit. Is Forever Young the number one song everywhere for your band, or is there another song
it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, it is like, for instance, you have a new album, you do the tour, you promote the music on the new album. So, I mean, you play, and there are always tracks that the audience really likes, more than the other tracks, from the new stuff now. And but I mean, when we play Forever Young, that is a different, it's just a different stage. Now, this is such a planetary thing. I don't know. I have no explanation for it. It's really, I mean, you must imagine that this song is probably in the minds of a quarter of the humanity on the whole planet. I mean, it's really, I mean, let's talk about something else.
Well, I'm glad you can take compliments and realize you're important.
Absolutely.
So my last two questions before I let you go. The first one is, when you have big hits like that people still care about in a big way decades later, that's a big enough accomplishment. But is there anything you're still hoping to accomplish in music? Anything you haven't done yet that you're still hoping you will?
Oh yeah. I mean, Eternally Yours, this album was one of the things that I always want, or that we always wanted to do. And now we finally finished the production, and we're all very, very happy about it. But there are many other things that we still want to achieve. I'm working on an Alice in Wonderland musical since years, and with lots of breaks and also breakdowns, because it's
breaks and breakdowns.
It's a complicated stuff. It's really complicated stuff. I actually understand Tim Burton, that he rewrote the whole story, because if you follow the true story from Lewis Carroll, it's so hard to put it into sceneries and to make a kind of movie thing out of it. But I will find, sooner or later, we will find a way, to do that. So the musical is, or whatever it then is one of the things. And then there's always this carrot hanging in front of you, like in front of a donkey, which keeps it moving. And that is the next album, because whenever you finish an album, when you finish it, you say, "Oh God, thank you. I finished that one. I've got so many other ideas on the way through this album that I could not place into this album. I want to do another album and put all these wonderful ideas into that." So this is the next step. In our case, it's Thunder Baby that we are producing at the moment, and but it will not be released before 2024 maybe, because next year in 23 we always doing the shows in context with the orchestra with For Eternally Yours, and so it wouldn't make sense to release a completely different album at the same time there.
Right. So we have new music to look forward to. We just have to be patient. And my last question for you is, what's the last concert that you attended as a fan?
Oh, it's not too long ago. I really like concerts, and the last one was, I really have to think because I saw a couple of, but the last one was, last year I was in Paris. There was Warner Brothers convention, and lots of artists were there, so I was there. I got an invitation to a concert of Nick Mason's band, A Source Full of Secret.
Oh yeah,
and I missed it. And people told me so much about. I'm a great Pink Floyd fan, and they said, he plays all the old stuff, all the Syd Barrett old stuff. He's playing, and they have, and this guy from Gareth, what's his name again? The guitarist from Spandau Ballet. He's part of this band and sings in this band. And I know this guy. Sorry, I forgot the name. And so I missed the concert in Paris, and then I missed another possibility. And just 3 or 4 weeks, a month ago, I saw them here in Berlin, and it was just an overwhelming experience. It was so beautiful. It was, first of all, it was great to see Nick Mason there behind the drums.
Yeah.
And then the band played the whole Source Full of Secret album, every song, and plus lots of Syd Barrett stuff. And it was just, I had tears in my eyes. It was really beautiful. I keep that. This is one of my most beautiful concerts I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen some.
The fact that you like Syd Barrett era Pink Floyd and OMD, Gary Newman, the early electronic stuff, just says
Gary Kemp. Gary Kemp is the name of the guitar player.
It just says that you follow all eras of music, and that's probably why you're able to come up with universal great pop music. But thank you for the many years of great art, and looking forward to seeing you live in New York in the near future.
Yeah, thank you. I always like to come to New York, and it was a great pleasure to talk to you.